The world you thought you knew is dissolving before your very eyes. A leaked document from the inner sanctum of the BRICS summit has changed everything. This is no longer just a theory or a distant prediction. It is the official start of a coordinated strike against the global dominance of the dollar. The final financial war has begun, and the objective is simple: the total erasure of the Western financial system through a weapon Washington cannot control. While the world was distracted, the machines at the Fed worked overtime, printing trillions out of thin air, setting the stage for an inevitable global collapse. Look closely at the data. What was once the bedrock of global trade, it is now a house of cards, trembling under the weight of insurmountable sovereign debt. The SWIFT system, once a tool of absolute power, is being targeted by a logic bomb that threatens to disconnect the West from the real-world economy. The BRICS nations have activated a protocol that bypasses traditional banking entirely. They are moving to a system backed by something tangible, something ancient: gold. Time is running out for the fiat experiment. The era of paper promises is ending, replaced by the cold, hard reality of the new digital gold standard. Russia and China have led the charge, securing the resources and the technology to create a financial fortress that no Western sanction can ever hope to penetrate. Though the panic in Washington is palpable, they realize that the weaponization of the dollar has forced the rest of the world to find a permanent exit strategy. This isn't just about a new currency, it's about the return of real value. Welcome to the dawn of the digital gold standard, where paper means nothing. BRICS is not building a mere cryptocurrency. They are digitizing physical gold, turning the world's oldest store of value into the world's fastest payment method. While the West trades in paper futures and high-frequency algorithms, the East is anchoring its future in the physical reality of gold bullion and decentralization. Look at the price gap. The West manipulates the price of gold through paper contracts, but the East is demanding the physical metal, exposing a massive fraud. India and China have spent decades accumulating thousands of tons of gold, preparing for the exact moment when the Western financial system would finally fracture. Each digital token in the new BRICS system is a direct claim on physical gold stored in secure, audited vaults across the global South and East. This system removes the need for trust in central banks. The math is transparent, the collateral is physical, and the execution is completely decentralized and secure. The death of paper money is not a tragedy, it is an evolution. BRICS is simply pulling the plug on a system that has become totally obsolete. By linking their digital infrastructure to their massive natural resources, these nations are creating an economic loop that the West cannot participate in or control. Imagine a world where trade between nations doesn't require the permission of a bank in New York. This is the ultimate nightmare for the globalist elite. The digital gold standard is the bridge between the physical and digital worlds, ensuring that every transaction has real, tangible value behind it every time. When the backbone of the global system is based on debt, any system based on gold will inevitably win. The shift is already happening right now. The BRICS Pay network is the kill switch for the dollar's hegemony. Once it is fully operational, the flow of capital will change its direction forever. For the average citizen in these nations, this means stability and protection from the hyperinflationary policies that have plagued the Western economies for years. The assassin of the SWIFT system has arrived. BRICS Pay is not just an alternative. It is a superior architecture designed for a multipolar world. The gatekeepers of the old world, the giant investment banks, are losing their grip. Their ability to freeze assets and dictate terms is vanishing quickly. Decentralization is the ultimate shield. By removing the central point of failure, BRICS has made their financial system immune to Western sanctions and political pressure. The weaponization of the dollar was a fatal mistake. It showed every nation that their wealth could be stolen with the press of a single button. Now the BRICS countries are taking their ball and going home, creating a parallel system where the U.S. Treasury has no eyes and no power. Trade is flowing through new channels. Oil, and commodities are being settled in real value, leaving the dollar as a currency with no home. Wall Street's leverage over the globe is built on the monopoly of the payment rail. When that rail is cut, the entire engine stalls out. The shift is logarithmic, not linear. It starts slowly, then happens all at once. We are now entering the all-at-once phase of history. Without the ability to export inflation through the dollar, the United States faces a domestic economic reckoning that will be felt in every single household. BRICS pay is more than a network. It is a declaration of independence for the majority of the human population from a debt-based master. The code is written, the gold is vaulted, and the network is live. The era of swift dominance has officially come to a quiet end. A massive seismic shift is tearing through the paper markets. Wall Street is standing on the edge of a precipice that it cannot see yet. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ are no longer reflecting economic health. They are merely reflecting the last gasps of a hyperinflated, artificial bubble. Capital is fleeing the digital mirage of the stock market, searching for a safe harbor in tangible assets that cannot be deleted or inflated. The scarcity of real resources, oil, gold, and rare earth minerals, is now the only thing that matters in the new global economic order. Stagflation is no longer a ghost from the 1970s. It is the current reality for Europe and North America as prices rise and growth dies. The purchasing power of the average person is being incinerated. This is the hidden tax that pays for the preservation of a dying empire. As the East builds its golden bridge, the West is deindustrializing. It's caught in a trap of high energy costs and a failing, debt-ridden currency. The market is finally beginning to reprice everything. The era of cheap credit and infinite liquidity is over, and the transition will be very painful. Civil unrest is the natural byproduct of a collapsing currency. When the money dies, the social contract that holds society together begins to unravel. The talking heads on television are still trying to sell the soft landing narrative, but the data on the ground tells a very different story. The tech sector mirage is evaporating. When investors realize these companies are valued in a currency that is losing its status, the exits will jam. The real economy is moving east. Those who control the commodities and the gold will dictate the terms of the next century of global trade. We are at the 0 hour. The financial system as we know it is about to be rebooted, and gold is the primary operating system. They will not tell you this on the news. The mainstream media is paid to keep you calm while the lifeboats are being filled by the elite. The greatest wealth transfer in human history is happening in the shadows. Gold is flowing from the west to the east at an unprecedented rate. Geopolitical conflicts are often just smokescreens for the underlying financial wars. Control of the currency is the ultimate prize in every modern conflict. Insiders know the truth. The central banks have been the biggest buyers of gold for 3 years straight, even as they tell you it's a relic. This is the great decoupling. The world of real things is separating from the world of financial derivatives in endless debt obligations. Dissent is growing. The rumors of gold shortages in Western vaults are becoming impossible to ignore. The physical market is screaming that the paper price is a lie. The drums of the new financial order are beating louder every day. The BRICS nations have prepared their defenses and are now moving to the offensive. It is a game of grand strategy. The West thought they could print their way out of any problem, but they forgot that you cannot print gold. While the TV talks about celebrity gossip, the foundations of your retirement account are being eroded by a global shift you aren't supposed to see. Every second you wait to understand this reality is a second you lose in the race to protect your family's financial future and security. The USS dollar is taking on water, and the lifeboats are already full. The media's job is to keep the band playing while the ship goes down. Do you see it yet? The truth is hidden in plain sight, recorded in the ledgers of central banks and the movements of physical gold bullion. The winners of this war have already been determined. They are the ones who holds the gold and the keys to the new decentralized network. Stop listening to the hype. Start looking at the logic. The numbers don't lie, and the trajectory of the global economy is now set in stone. In an era of misinformation, logic is your only compass. If a system is built on debt, it must eventually collapse. This is simple math. To survive the coming transition, you must move your wealth into real assets. Gold, silver, and energy are the pillars of the new financial reality. Diversify out of the digital illusions. Secure your position in assets that have no counterparty risk and cannot be turned off by a central authority. The bridge to the future is being built right now. It is a bridge of gold, copper, and oil, supported by a decentralized digital infrastructure. The axis of the world has changed. The centers of production and resource wealth are now the centers of financial power. Adjust your perspective accordingly. Knowledge is the ultimate asset. But understanding the mechanics of the BRICS, digital gold standard, gives you an advantage that most people will never have. Don't be a victim of the system's failure. Be a pioneer of the new era. Take control of your assets before the gates are closed forever. This is why we do what we do, to bring you the truth that the mainstream ignores. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay ahead of the curve. Subscribe to this channel now. Don't be left in the dark when the lights of the old financial system finally go out for good. This is not financial advice. This is an analysis of global trends and data. Do your own research and make your own decisions for your future. The collapse of the old empire is the birth of a new world. It is a world of transparency, value, and true economic sovereignty for everyone. The secrets of the BRICS digital gold standard are now yours. What you do with this information will define your destiny in the coming decade. The choice is yours. Stay on the sinking ship or build a future on a foundation of gold. Subscribe now to stay out of the dark.